Kalimera pedia. Well, I don't know if I should do this video, but I just want to share my thoughts on woke culture and most importantly, what is happening here in Greece when it comes down to the woke culture. Now, full disclosure, this is not a political video. I am not qualified to talk about politics on this channel. I am not eligible to vote here in Greece either. I don't watch the news. I'm completely unplugged from the matrix, so to speak, when it comes down to current affairs here in Greece and in the world. However, I do work online and I do get informed one way or another. So this video is going to be about someone that lives abroad, okay, that is a family man that has experienced the woke culture living here in Greece, okay? And I want to share my thoughts with you after meeting plenty of people from around the world talking to me about woke culture in the States, in Canada, and the rest of the Western world anyways, including England and other parts of the world. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's say that woke culture here in Greece, I don't think it exists, right? Not to the level that I have been told by my fellow Americans and Canadians. When I have met people from Canada and the States and even England through this channel, by the way, and I have met them in person while they've been here in Greece on a holiday, the first thing that they mention is a woke culture. And you have to understand that I relocated from the UK here to Greece 14 years ago. So I haven't experienced the woke culture in other countries, only here in Greece. And here in Greece, things are behind. Thank God for that. You know, thank God that woke culture is not the same here in Greece as it is in America or in Canada or in England, in other countries. So I've been told, okay? Because you have to understand that I don't know how it is over there apart from what I see online and apart from whatever you guys have shared with me. Now, I am just a foreigner living here in Greece that realized that woke culture was a thing quite recently, by the way. That's how ignorant I am about this topic. And I'm not even sure if I'm qualified to talk about it, but I just want to share my views, okay? Because here in Greece, it doesn't really exist. Now, I know a lot of Greeks are going to say like, well, yeah, Daniel, but you don't live in Athens, because in Athens, things are a little bit more progressive and they're a little bit more advanced. Now, to those people, I say that Greece is one big horio, okay? And when I say this, I don't say it in a negative way. I'm just saying that just because I live in Eparchia, that doesn't mean that Athens is that much progressive when it comes down to the mindset and when it comes down to cultural things that are happening, okay? In the country, Greece is still a very conservative country. And it's one of the reasons why I moved here 14 years ago with my family, because I want those orthodox values, okay? The family unit. I want a culture that is very similar to my culture, which is, if you're new to the channel, I grew up in Venezuela. I'm Venezuelan. I was born in the UK, but I was raised in Venezuela. My family and everybody, all of my ancestors are from Venezuela. Now, what I want to say with this is that for someone like me that hasn't experienced the woke culture the same way that you have experienced in America or England or wherever you're watching this from, you know, I want to share my thoughts and my views and to let you know that here in Greece, it's not the same, man. I mean, what I've seen online, and I've seen certain things, and it is a shock to me. Now, obviously, I'm going to be 50 next year, so I don't know how progressive can a 50-year-old man be, but I'm quite progressive myself, and I'm quite futuristic, and I'm all up for advancement. But when it comes down to family values, when it comes down to cultural issues, and without getting political again, because I am not a political guy by any means, I'm just literally thinking about not only me, but I'm thinking more about my daughters. Okay, I'm a father of two daughters. They're still young. Right? I have a 14-year-old daughter, which obviously is heavily involved with whatever is happening online, right? Like there's only so much we can control, and even though we have all the apps that are out there in order to control what they consume online, you know, it's a generation that grew up with smartphones and access to the internet, and you know, that's the way they communicate nowadays. So that's my priority, is like, what's going on in the world at large, and how can that affect my daughter, and how can I educate my daughter as well in terms of what's happening? Because for her, you know, she doesn't know that there was a before and after the internet. She doesn't know there was a before and after this kind of like woke culture. And I feel weird saying it because I literally found out a couple of years ago. I'm like, what is this woke thing, right? So I had to educate myself, and mainly for my daughter, okay? And here in Greece, because it's Greece, and because the family values and the whole culture of Greece is so strong and it's still so old-fashioned, which is something that I truly love, and I hope it stays like that, like the family unit, right? And I know that when I'm talking about the family unit, I'm not saying that if you're woke, you don't have a family unit. What I'm saying is that what I understand from the wokeness and what you guys have told me as well, that what's happening in the States and in Canada and in England, you feel that the culture and the values are being all put under one umbrella or divided by people that believe in something or they're against it. So even by me doing a video like this, I don't know if I'm putting myself in that situation. Am I against it or I'm in favor of it, right? I'm just sharing my experience as someone who lives here. And to be quite honest, when it comes down to all of these things that are happening, cultural shifts and cultural things, woke agenda and all of this, pronouns. And the first time I saw a pronoun thing, I have to admit, it was because of my 14-year-old daughter that I saw something. I'm like, what is that? What does that mean? Right? And I work online, man, okay? I am all day on the internet, but obviously I am not plugged in consuming rubbish online. I'm running an online business. But I had to inform myself, and I'm like, what does that she thing mean? I'm not here to judge you, man. I'm not here to judge anybody that has a pronoun on their Instagram account, she, he, or them, or they, or whatever, but if that is part of the woke culture, and if you agree or not, then it's a little bit weird to me, because again, I didn't live this uprise or this popularity, I should say, not uprise, but this popularity of this woke culture. I haven't lived it. And here in Greece, we're still behind. And I don't think it will ever catch up. So if you're Greek, for example, and you want to experience this woke culture, you're in the wrong country right away. And if you tell me that it's because I live in Eparchia and someone can go to Athens and experience the woke culture, I don't think so. Athens is still Athens. Athens is still Greece, by the way. All right, there's not much difference. Yes, okay, you have a little bit more diversity of people, and yes, it's a little bit of a more multicultural city like any capital, but it's still Greece. Some people seem to forget that, all right? So when it comes down to this type of woke culture and woke agenda, which is, again, a term that I had to research a little bit about it, and quite frankly, I don't know much about it, but I'm very happy that here in Greece, it hasn't hit the same way that it has hit other countries, or that it's not happening the same way that in other countries it's been happening. Again, I was shocked when I spoke to a few of the audience that I met over the summer when I started this YouTube channel, that the first thing they mentioned is that. And I was like, well, is it that bad? Okay, because I thought it was just about pronouns and just, a thing here and there, but apparently it goes deeper than that, and it goes really, really deep, especially in the States, and even in Canada, and even in England. I didn't know that the woke culture was has been so heavily adopted, or has been so heavily promoted by the media, and as well being adopted by people as well. And again, I'm not here to judge anybody. You're free to do whatever you want. Εγώ είμαι μια χαρά εδώ που είμαι. And I hope that, things do not get as bad here in Greece. I don't believe it will ever get like this here in Greece, because Greece, like I said, in many things is behind, right? But we should educate ourselves, me included, when it comes down to this type of topics. And maybe I should have educated myself a little bit more when it came down to doing a video about woke culture here on the channel, because again, I'm not qualified to talk about it, but I'm just here sharing my thoughts because people have asked me. People have literally asked me, how is the woke culture here in Greece? Even though they know that here in Greece it does not exist, especially Greeks that live abroad, and I've heard crazy stories that I don't know, how is it? So yes, I am someone that is completely detached from this topic. All right. I mean, I've heard or I've seen videos of for example, in the States, I don't know where, toilets which they have no genders. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, maybe, I don't know if I saw it correctly, but I had to like stop the video and see again if there is such a thing as a toilet with no gender. All right? I don't think you will ever see that here in Greece. I've been told by Greeks and from my wife as well, she's a little bit more switched on when it comes down to the news. I try to stay disconnected from the news. I don't want to know anything about politics. I don't have the bandwidth in my brain to stay connected. But I know that they are fighting this, especially in school, okay? And, you know, it's a sad thing to see, to be quite honest, you know, because I think there's bigger issues, especially here in this country, to be focused on when it comes down to cultural issues than start adapting some ideas or some you know, cultural things like woke culture. I mean, I don't know. But then again, we live in a crazy world, man. You know, and the best thing we can do is to educate ourselves and most importantly move forward with, yeah, I believe in values. Yeah, I'm a very old-fashioned guy. You know, some of you guys have asked me what are my thoughts in terms of religion and here, what is it like in the church and all of this. And I don't want to get political, but I am a very old-fashioned guy. I'm very orthodox in that way. When I say orthodox, I mean that I'm very old-fashioned. Okay, doesn't mean I don't believe in equality. That doesn't mean that I don't believe in things that, you know, that a normal human being with common sense wouldn't believe. You know, I'm a normal human being with common sense, and you know, I'm a reasonable human being, right? But anything that is a little bit crazy or a little bit left field, and then everything's turned political, and there's things happening in the world, and how that is it here in Greece, how that has that affected Greece, or how Greece has adopted that, then I believe that I can share my experience. And that's the reason why I'm doing this video, because there is no such as far as I'm concerned, and as far as what I've seen here in Greece, there's no such a thing as a woke culture here in Greece. And if they want to bring the woke culture here, and even if they wanted to promote it, I don't think it will ever happen. You know, because it's so old-fashioned, and because people they have trouble catching up with this. And again, if you think that in Athens or in big cities it will happen, I don't think so. It's still very old-fashioned. I will say it again, just because I live in Eparchia, that doesn't mean that I'm disconnected from society or Athens. Athens is just an hour away, an hour and a half away from where I live, okay? And when you live here long enough, you know, yeah, you can live in a remote island. Yeah, you can live very remotely. You can live in a farm and all of this. But, you know, when you go to Athens, you go to the capital, it's still Greece. It's still the same culture, still the same mindset, still the same beliefs. You know, yeah, they could be a little bit more advanced. They could be a little bit more multicultural, but it's still the same country, man. Okay, and people seem to forget that, oh yeah, in Athens it's different. It's a little bit more diverse, and it's a little bit more progressive, or it's a little bit more woke. It's not. It's certainly not, okay? Anyways, this is just a quick video that I wanted to do today, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Hey, drop in the comment section where you're watching this video, and how is the woke culture in your country, right? I don't know if I put the woke culture in the title, will I get canceled? That's how ignorant I am about this topic. I have no idea. And, you know, I'm not here talking about politics, or if I am against it or with it. I'm talking about my experience with the woke culture here in Greece. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, as what I've been told, it just doesn't exist, really. And if it exists, it's very, very little. It's very, very small. So, you know, for those of you who are Greeks, or for those of you who support the woke culture here in Greece, I'm pretty sure you guys feel a little bit disappointed. Or if you're a foreigner and you feel like you want to embrace that same woke culture here in Greece, the same way that is in America or in England or in Canada, you're going to be very disappointed, from what I'm told, okay? From what I'm told, because I don't live in this country, so I didn't live the woke movement when it happened, right? I lived it here in Greece, you know, far away from that. And, you know, in a way, I'm happy. I'm very happy. Anyways, guys, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the love and support. Σας αγαπάω πάρα πολύ, όπως πάντα. Don't forget to drop in the comment section where you're watching this video, and how's the woke culture in your country, regardless if you agree with it or not, okay? Fristo para Poli. I'll see you in another video.